Hello and welcome to Vision Denial. My name is Sam and this is the Road to MSI Meet the Teams. If you're new here, I've watched every single playoff game of every region that are participating in MSI. Asterisk, did not watch the winter playoffs of the LEC for reasons I have mentioned in previous videos. Today, or more specifically in this video, we're going to look at Golden Guardians. This particular team took the LCS by storm in a run that was, quite honestly, super impressive during their playoffs compared to their regular season play. Well, we're going to be taking a look at those stats, but if ever you're curious as to where I'm getting some of these placements, I have linked a document down below with all the stats and where I got them. Feel free to peruse to see where my position comes from. Without further ado, let's take a look at the team. Let's meet the coaches and the team's playstyle. We got ourselves Spooks and Chuz. Yeah. Both are longtime Oceanic players. Spooks being a longtime jungler, joining Golden Guardians as part of the coaching staff since Season 10 before becoming head coach for Season 13. And Chuz, who's been an Oceanic mid laner and joined Golden Guardians in Season 10 as an assistant coach and substitutes for their academy team in the mid lane. Taking a look at their stats, and you start to see, yes, they start reflecting a little bit the dichotomy of pre-playoff and post-playoff Golden Guardians, where they're 4th in first turret, 4th in first bloods, and 6th in heralds. They start losing out a bit in terms of the game duration being a lot slower than it should be. Gold per minute is 7th, 8th in gold difference at 15th, last in win rate when ahead at 15, last in damage per minute, last in kills per game, 8th in deaths per game, and last in barons, as well as last in drakes. There is quite a lot of lasts, and Golden Guardians doesn't strike to be a notable team, but then you have this inkling of, oh yes, they had an amazing playoffs. It's good to keep in mind at least, but not to expect. Let's meet Golden Guardians top laner, Licorice. Best known for his time on Cloud9 and FlyQuest, from Season 7s to 11, he then joined Golden Guardians halfway into Season 11. Now, amongst the other top laners, he does not fare as strongly. Last in KDA, 9th in gold per minute, last in damage per minute, 12th in kill participation, 11th in kill share, 6th in gold share, 8th in champion pool, most notably 8th in CS per minute, so he's not falling super behind. Licorice's place is a worrying position compared to the others amongst his role, fairly isolated with very little impact across the map. But it's good to be aware of the pre and post playoffs, which is a thing we'll be talking with a lot in this video, and how this particularly may be a coin flip for how we see him in MSI, even with his isolationist setup. Let's meet Golden Guardians jungler River. This Korean player made his debut in Japan before making waves in Paris Saint-Germain Talons in the PCS in Seasons 10. And jumping over to NA to join Golden Guardians midway through Season 12. Amongst the other junglers, he is fairly underwhelming also. 11th in KDA, 12th in CS per minute, 12th gold per minute, 7th in damage per minute, 1st in kill participation, 8th in kill share, 11th in gold share, and tied 3rd in champion pool, but to note, champion pools for the junglers are relatively overlapping. And it's largely unimpressive compared to his counterparts. He still has the highest participation amongst jungler, highly involved in the early game, giving up his own gold allocation to strongly help his laners get going early in. But also note the disjoint between pre and post playoffs. These particular numbers could be significantly worse compared to other junglers if it wasn't for the really strong play he had during playoffs. Let's meet the mid laner of Golden Guardians, Gory. Having been a substitute for T1, Edward Gaming, and Fun Plus, and was on the main lineup of Nongshin Red Force and Paris Saint Germain Talons, Gory has been a little bit all over the place and then joining Golden Guardians for Season 13. Looking at these particular stats, he's a little bit under average. 9th in KDA, 9th in gold per minute, but 5th in CS per minute, 10th in damage per minute, 8th in kill participation, 7th in kill share, but ties 5th in gold share and tied 6th in champion pool. Gory is a fairly serviceable mid laner with some unconventional picks compared to the other mid laners around in terms of what he's comfortable with, but he keeps up in gold and is flexible enough for the team to draft some things like his Cassante fairly frequently and Talia, and capable enough for his team to give him a decent amount of resources to perform on these picks. But again, keep in mind the difference between pre and post playoffs, because those had largely different kinds of impact on the game. Let's meet the bot laner of Golden Guardians, Stixay. Best known for his time in CLG before coming to Golden Guardians in Season 11, jumping between coaching staff, academy, and now the main roster. And he's a little surprising if still not under average compared to his other bot laners. 11th in KDA, 6th in CS per minute, 10th in gold per minute, 12th in damage per minute, 7th in kill participation, 1st in kill share, 4th in gold share, and 7th in champion pool. He is the go-to player for this team. And while he is not as impressive compared to the other bot laners of the particular tournament, he sits squares with them. And if the playoff version of this team is any indication as what we may see somebody here, a bot laner who is capable and will match with the best if they're able to keep up this particular momentum. Let's meet the support of Golden Guardians, Huhi. This once mid laner turned support got his debut in Season 6 with CLG before jumping between 100 Thieves and Golden Guardians, and is the first player to win an LCS title in 2 different positions. Amongst the other top laners, amongst the other support players, he's the only player of his team to show above average play. 9th in KDA compared to the rest of his contemporaries, but 2nd in kill participation, 3rd in kill share, 5th in gold share, and 5th in vision control with 5th in vision denial. He's a very serviceable support player whose experience as a mid laner gives him a wider access of champions, which helps him in that particular situation, while also being consistent in play alongside his duo for team fighting and vision play. He may not stand out, but he sits squarely above average other support players, and it is going to be somebody you'll want to watch. Overall, the pre and post playoffs in mind, Golden Guardians is one of those teams where you look at the stats and wonder how they got here. They straight up overperform compared to their pre-playoff form. The consistent bot lane duo, alongside with their vision control and denial, it was a nice start for when the rest of the team decided to overperform during playoffs. We have to keep in mind that the teams that do have these strong playoff runs, when it didn't come from the regular season, tend to either aggressively flop or continue to rise to the occasion. And with 2 MSI finalists on the roster, there is some hope that I could see some people having with the situation. But I don't have my strong confidence that they'll make it further than possibly round 1 of the best of 5. Those are my thoughts, at least. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think the momentum that Golden Guardians have been riding is going to continue up until MSI, or are we going to have a team that's going to flop the second they hit the best of 3s and will become a fading story before they continue in summer? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you when MSI comes around. Bye. Thank you again for watching. Greatly appreciated. These kinds of videos take quite a bit of time. If you're interested, we've got over here more videos about the other teams that have qualified for MSI. And if you're curious about the process in which I watched every single playoff, here's a playlist of the road itself to MSI. If you have any particular thoughts, comments, or predictions I'd love to hear those things down below. And if you care to, right below over here, this little button, you can click on it and subscribe. Thank you.